Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mr. Saem Today we'll be solving Igcse Ict Specimen 2023 paper, and we'll be solving paper 2. So you might have noticed the duration is now 2 hours 15 minutes because you don't have mail merge anymore. Okay. You have been supplied with the following source files, so always check your source files. Do you have the same files? Always reconfirm them. Also look at the extensions. You work for a company called Tawara Yacht Brokers who buy and sell luxury boats. You're going to perform some clerical tasks for this company. Task 1, evidence document. You're supposed to create one. Open the file, the evidence document file. Okay, here we go. We have this evidence file. And you can see over here is we have the following evidence that we have to place here, right? Okay, make sure your name, sender, candidate number will appear on every page of this document. Save the evidence in your work area as this, okay, followed by your candidate number, for example, this, right. So you actually have to do is somewhere in the header, I can come here and I can simply place over here header. Through this option, I can place is Saem Ict. Whatever center number is there, and whatever candidate number you have, this will appear in all the pages, right? Okay, task 2. You're going to edit a report for Tawara Yacht Brokers. The company uses a corporate house style for all the documents. Paragraph styles must be created and applied as instructed. You know what corporate house styles are. These styles are applied on letterheads, on websites, on visiting cards, on memos, on billboards. So they basically uniquely represent every company's house style. You look at any of these, you can tell that it represents a particular company by the theme, by the heading, by the font type, all of this. So what we have to do is we have to open up the super.rtf file. Here we go. This is what we, okay. And then, right. So next, okay. The page setup is set to A4 with 2 centimeter margins. Do not make any changes to this. Supposed to make this layout. I'm going to make it A4. I am going to make it landscape. And at the same time, I'll make sure that the margins are 2 centimeters. So I'll come to margins. Now look at the margins. I have all 2 centimeters. Perfect. Okay, don't make any changes to it. Okay, save the document as broker. So we'll just come here and I'm going to save it as save it. You can save it as a Word document as well. Okay, and then the size becomes much more lighter as compared to an RTF file. Okay, software using, yeah. So make sure it is saved in a format of the software you're using. So we'll use it as a docs file format, which tends to be a better option. So we'll come to save as, browse, and obviously I would use over here is Word document, which is docs file format. Okay, here we go. Right. Make sure it's saved to fine. Place your evidence document, a screenshot to show this file has been saved. Make sure that there is evidence of this file. So you can just take a screenshot of this broker that we have. Okay, so I'll take a screenshot of this MS Word document, screenshot this, and I'll place it here. In order to make it fast, I'll just explain you. I'm not taking the screenshot of evidences over here. Place in the footer of the file broker automated page numbering left line. So we'll come over here is we'll come to the footer. So insert, Okay, let me just read again. Your name center can be in the right line. So simple as that. We can simply have the page numbering over here. So either this way, we can just come over here in page numbering, current position, and I can place the page numbering over here. We don't need this because on the right, we need is your name center can be in right line. So obviously we'll place over here is right, and obviously your name. Fine. Done with this, right? Make sure all alignments match the page margins. So you just have to look. You can zoom in and you can zoom out. So they are aligned accordingly. So should not be out. That's what they mean. No other text is including the header or and the footer. So yeah, there was one, and I just removed it in front of you. The footer is displayed on all pages. Obviously, if you insert the right footer, it will be displayed on all the pages. Right? Now, create and store the following styles, basing each on default paragraph style. Okay, so on default paragraph style, we have to make this. Take a screenshot to show that you have defined the settings for TY subhead style. Make sure in that there's an evidence that you have based this on default paragraph style. So no problem. All we have to do is we'll just come over here and we're going to create a style, and we are going to paragraph preview. We're going to name this as TY subhead. So that's my TY subhead. Okay, paragraph style preview. We can take a screenshot of this. Okay, because they're saying is make sure, okay, we take a screenshot to show that you have defined the settings of TY subhead. Make sure there's an evidence that have been based at this default paragraph style. So I just told you we can take a screenshot of this. Okay, so we'll press modify, and we have to set it accordingly. What it has to be sans serif. So any sans serif. So Times New Roman is basically your serif. If you want to use sans serif, you can use Arial. We can use Comic Sans serif. There are lots of options available. Okay, so I would prefer just using the simple Arial. It's a good option. And then we can have it 16 and has to be center. It has to be all capital bold. So we come into format, we come to font, and you can say over here it says is all caps, at the same time bold, right? Press OK. And spacing before and after, you can see spacing before and spacing after has to be 0 and 9. So spacing before 0. So again, you come into paragraph, and spacing before 0, spacing after, you're simply going to make it 9 and press OK. Anything else? No. So I'll press OK, right? I am now going to define, okay, so this I have just defined over here is our one style. Okay, so we're going to create another one. So the one I defined right now was basically TY subheading. So this is the TY subheading. So we're going to create a style, and we're going to name this is as TY table. Take a screenshot of this again, modify. This has to be serif, so I would rather use over here is Times New Roman, right? And 11 has to be center, has to be italic, it has to be line spacing single. So we'll make sure that the line spacing is single. So I'm going to format, I'm going to go to paragraph, and I'm going to make sure the line spacing is single. And I'm going to make it 0 and 0. So I have 0 and 0. Before and after spacing 0 and 0. Okay, so this is why TY table we have, right? Okay, so here we go. We're done with this point, right? Let's come to point number 4. Okay, display these custom style name as a list in the style manager organizer. Take a screenshot of that as well. So over here, once you have actually done this, you are simply going to display them. Okay, 1 second. So you can display this over here, a screenshot of this showing that you have both of them available. Okay, so you can just click on this arrow over here, and this is the way it's displayed. Take a screenshot of this, right? Okay, done. Point number 5. The style name TY title has already been created, stored, and applied to the title text. Modify the TY styles so only the following format is applied. So there will be a TY title. Yes, there is TY title. I'm going to right click and I'm going to modify this so that it's sans serif 32. So that it's sans serif and it's 32. I think so I need to type it myself. Right. Oops. That's quite big. Center. Okay. There we go. It's center. Bold, underline. So it has to be bold and underlined. So I'll simply come here. It has to be bold. And it has to be underline. Okay. What else? Line spacing single and 0.6. So line spacing has to be single and 0.6. Right? Okay. Let's continue. Point number 6. Below the title, add the subtitle. Below the title. So right below the title, add the following. Okay. Okay, right. The style name TY subtitle has already been created and stored. Apply the style to the text you entered in step 6. So TY subtitle has to be applied to this. So I'll select this one and I'll make sure the TY subtitle is applied to this. Fine. Right. Point number 7. The style name TY subtitle has been applied. Done. Point 8. Change the page layout so that the subheading global analysis and all following text is displayed in 2 equally spaced columns with 2 centimeter spacing between the columns. Okay. So we have to change the page layout so that this so that the subheading this and the following text. So that text that follows this. So global analysis, the heading. So this onward. So this onward, what I'll do is I'll come into layout. I'll come into margins, custom margins. I will have to do is, I'm so sorry, not this one, columns, more columns. It has to be 2 centimeter gap. So I'll make this 2 centimeter gap and I'll say this point forward, which means I just clicked over here and this point forward, I want it to be in 2 columns. And here we go. We have that. Yes. Okay. Identify the 5 subheadings in the document and apply TY subheading to each of them. So I'm going to find this TY subheading. So TY subheading. TY subheading. Okay, you can help me out. Obviously, you can't. There we go. Subheading. Make sure there are 5. Okay. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have 5. Yeah, I got the business review as well. Right? Here we go. Okay, okay. Locate the table and document. Sort the data in the table into descending order of length in meters. So we have this table. So we have to have it descending order of length in meters. So first of all, let me just arrange it. I just don't like the arrangement. I'll just right click on it and I'll just auto fit to window. Right, first thing. And we have to table into descending order of length in meters. Descending order of length in meters. So we can simply just select this and we can simply, there are multiple ways of doing it, but what I can do is I can just right click and go. Or was it ascending, descending? Sorry, into descending. So here we can have is our sort, right? I'll simply come here. So we want sort this style into descending, right? Okay, right? So you got it from where I did it, right? You just need to come here, okay? You can simply set this from here. Oh, let me do it again for you. Okay, so you can do it from here. Anyway, next, so we done this one. Right, done. Look at the table, done. Insert a new row below Germany and United Arab Emirates. Enter the following data in this row. Okay, yeah, I hate this part. So we need to enter a new row that has China. So where do we have to insert it? Between Germany and United Arab Emirates. So I'll click here and I'll say is insert row below. And here I'm going to use Control V. Obviously, you need to type it in because you are going to get hard copy. You will not get a soft copy. So you can have the privilege right now, not afterwards. So here we go, Control C. And here we go. Done? Right. Okay. So in case if Mr. Saem misses out something, please do mention in the comments. Okay. Apply TY table style to the table. Okay. Make sure no data is wrapped in the table. So first let's apply and then we can see. So we'll just click on this and we just made is TY table somewhere. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. Okay. All grid lines are displayed. No, they're not being displayed. So what I need to do is I need to simply come in the table design. Okay. And I will select an option where I get all these grid lines. Okay. Borders and data fit within the column width. Yeah, they are filling within the column width. Yeah, I can try to make it, it's fine, there's nothing wrong. It is filling up the column width, but maybe I can just try to, it's fine. Maybe I can check it at the end. Okay. So there's a 6-point space after the table. Okay. So basically what we have to do is we just have to add over here is 6. So we have to add a 6-point space after the table. So 6-point after the table. So obviously what I can do is I can simply come here. I can right click because I have to do it manually because this was not required in the table. So I'll come to paragraph and I will just say before 6, before. Obviously before the paragraph means before, after the table, it's the same thing. So I get this. You can see over here is this, it's not aligned properly. These things you have to do it yourself. So what I'll do is I'll just, when it's blinking over, I just press delete once so that it's aligned properly somehow. So I have to check this myself. Okay, so I have this right now. Okay, format the first row of the table to be center aligned over the 3 columns. So we're just going to merge it and we are somehow merge the cells and center. Okay, import the image YATS.jpg and place this below the subheading chapters. Okay, where is chapters, by the way? Over here. So I'll just insert it. If I have the right folder, no, I don't. So I need to directly come to the folder. That's my folder. Okay. There we go. Control V. There we go. That's just what I have. Let's read again. Okay. Import this done. Reflect the image so that the YATS points to the left. So we just have to reflect it. So obviously here we go. I can just rotate. Now flip horizontal. Okay. and done with this. Format the image. It is resized to a width of 6 centimeters with an aspect ratio maintained. So we'll simply have to make sure that the image is with a width of 6 centimeters. So I'm going to make the width is 6 centimeters. Here we go. Right. What else? It is aligned to the left column margin and the top margin at the Vara chapter, the text wraps around the image. So obviously what I'll do is I'll use over here is tied and okay. And I'm going to bring it here. Okay. Let me read again once more. It is aligned to the left column margin. I have done that. I'll just be more precise in a while. And the top of the paragraph, starting. Oh, yes. So it has to be. Let me just zoom in a bit. Let me just show you what I mean to say. Obviously, you have to be very, very careful about it. Perfection is going to help you get distinction. Okay. And this is what Mr. Saem is here for, help you out in this. So you can see over here is it's exactly aligned in such a way. You can see this. I can just click here and I can tell you. See the line? Exactly. It's marked properly, lined properly. Okay. And over here as well, it's aligned properly. So right. Okay. Have to be perfect. I mean. Right. We've done this as well. Spell check and proofread. Okay. Make sure that the table. So obviously you have to spell check and proofread. You can come into review and you can open up the spell check. If there is some spelling mistakes, I am obviously going to meter. Okay, it says over here is meter. I'll just ignore it. It's fine. I'll ignore. I'm not going to change the sentences in that way. So one second. There I have to go back. Anyway, ignore all. I'll do it again. There was something I saw here. With the new and all surfaces. Okay, this actually means is okay, right? So okay, somehow I've ignored it. Once it comes, you can correct it yourself because I have to redo it again. Okay, so there's nothing. Right, next, done. Table is not split over two column pages, no videos, no orphans, spacing consistent. Let me just check all this. So this is what we have. You can zoom out. Just having a look. Fine. I can just press Control A. I can go into font. I'll go into paragraph and I'm going to enable it as an orphan. Okay. Right. So because I don't want any as an orphan, right? So you just have to make sure it's enabled. Right. And there's no problem with that. You can actually take this down as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. You can even do that. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that you can take this down there as well, or you can even leave it this way as well. There's nothing wrong. Both ways fine. There will be no penalty for this. Okay, so and print the document. So you're done with task 1. We're just going to solve task 3, databases. Okay, in a separate video. Okay, so we're going to solve task 3, databases. You are now going to prepare some reports. Make sure all currency values display currency symbol and are set to 0 decimal places. Using suitable database package, import the file SPO to yachs.csv. Use these field names and their types. So we just have to be careful. Text 1 decimal place, currency symbol, and 0 decimal places. Set Yach ID as primary key. Save the data. Place in the evidence document screenshot showing field names and data type used. So here we go. I need to point to the location where my files are. And this is where my files actually are. That's my file, blank database. There we go. External, from file, text file. There we go, Control V. And we are going to import over here is our file. Yeah. Leave it as delimited. Delimited. And then we have to make sure over here is fine, nothing wrong. We come into advanced, and we'll do is we'll just make over here number has to be, you can see over here is, if I can show you again, number has to 1 decimal places, so I can use over here let me just check again. Cache name, length is supposed to be number. Okay, so length double fine is fine. And then we have to make a price as currency. Do we have price as currency? No, we don't. So we'll make price as currency. That seems to be fine. And we can make over here the Yacht ID as a primary key, as this said so. Okay, without any errors. We have successfully imported this. You can see it over here. Right. Next. So we obviously this part I have to talk about it. You have to go to the design view and you take a screenshot of this, and you have to make this to 1 decimal places, and you have to place in the evidence document showing. Okay, update. Fine. Take a screenshot of this and put it in the evidence document. Right. Then what we have over here is examine the file, identify the most appropriate field to set as a primary key, or import this file as a new table in your database, format all data types as text, set the identified as primary key, place in evidence. So we have to import builders, we can directly have a look, no problemo. Let's just have a look. Come into text file, browse for builder. Next, first row contains field names. So can I use the builder ID as a primary key? We'll just see that you have the builder name. I have telephone. Remember one thing, telephone is always text. Okay, so always make sure that telephone is always text, long text, short text. Okay, and what else? Country code, country ID will also be text. Okay, so country code is text, right? Fine. So next, I can choose the builder ID as a primary key. Okay. There seems to be no problem. Builder ID has been chosen as a primary key. Okay, let's read ahead and see what the question says. So import new table, done. So we have to take a screenshot of the field name and data type used of this as well. And you place it this thing, making sure that everything is visible, and you'll place it in your obviously evidence document. I can't scroll it down much. So my resolution is a bit low as well. So make sure you can scroll down and you take a screenshot, for God's sake. Okay, done with this. Then what we have is create one-to-one relationship between builder ID fields and place in evidence document. So let's see what sort of relationship can we create. So I have the following two. Over here you can see is I have is the builder ID and I have the builder ID. And if I do it in sending order, you see it's not being repeated. But if I display this in sending order, you can see it's being repeated. So this is primary key and this is a foreign key. Okay, primary key, when it's being repeated in some of the tables, known as a foreign key. So builder ID, what is a foreign key? And the relationship that you have between a primary key and a foreign key is known as one-to-many, right? So here we go, come to relationships, add, and we are going to establish a relationship between the builder ID and builder ID. See, I was telling even before the next exams to come in, my prediction seems to be very well, alhamdulillah, every time. The examiner will not guide you with every step. So this is what's happening. So they are going to ask you to make the relationship yourself. Add the following as new record in the Yash table, check for data entry for errors. Not using a form, you just have to manually enter this into the Yash table, right? So what you have to simply do is you just have to open up this table and manually you are going to come at the very bottom. Okay, I'm not going to do this just to save time, just a very basic step, and manually enter it. Make sure you enter exactly the same details. So I assume that we have done this. We have entered the following data. That's the important part. Using the fields from both tables, produce a tabular report that selects. So we have to actually first of all make a report. Sets the records where the build year is this, the length is this, contains a new field, shows only the fields these. So obviously, let's first add the fields. So simply let's go create a design view from the both tables. Let's add over here. My window tab is not working somehow. So okay, so we need to add over here is Yash name, builder name type. So we need to add is Yash name, builder name type, right? Name type, length price, build year, length price, build year, length price, build year, build country, sleeps, build country, sleeps. Build country. Sleeps crew. Sleeps crew total. Now total this has to be calculated. So total births basically will be, let me just somehow copy this just to save time. Again, you have to type it in, not me over here right now. So this will be, and I'm going to put a colon, and which will be what? Sorry, I know, I just have to, I'll put it again. Okay, now this will be equal runtime. This field will add the sleeps field to the crew field. Very basic. Okay, so there, here we go. All we need to do is we need to add two fields together. When we have to add two fields together, we have to put them in this in the square brackets. We call them square brackets. Okay, right? Square brackets are used for database fields. So okay, fine. But I just forgot the question. This will be sleeps and crew field. So sleeps needs to be added with crew, right? Always confirm, is it right? Yes, always please verify yourself. 14 plus 16 is 30. 8 plus 4 is 12. Because there could be any reason. There might be some reason it might give you wrong answer. So always verify. The build year is after 2010. So we're going to make this build year after 2010. So the build year will be greater than 2010. Again, I will verify that as well. Yes, I do. And then length is 40 or less. It's less than equal to 40. Okay, it's less than equal to 40. So we have is length, which is less than equal to 40. So we have over here is length is less than equal to 40. Run this. I get length is less than equal to 40. Again, verify. Always verify. Okay, so technically we have done with this point. We are done with this point as well. So done with this point, done with this point, and done with this point. Do not group the data. I'm not doing that. Sort the data into ascending order of type and descending order of length. Descending of length. So type and length, right? So type and length has to be descending, right? Okay. right? Has a page orientation of landscape. This has to be in our report. Single page wide, and the heading will be this as the title, displayed as large font size. So obviously when I have this, I'll just go to create and I'll go to make a report. And I'll name it with this heading. Okay, so I can simply just make it bold. Okay, and I can just probably increase the font size to bit more. Okay, and I'm going to make sure this fit on one page. So I'll come to page setup, I'll make it landscape. I'll make sure the size is A4. So you need to do this all yourself, and you have to reduce this manually and make sure you don't reduce it much so that this line doesn't go into the next page. So okay, so this row doesn't increase, the row size doesn't increase. So you have to be really careful. It doesn't take much time, but it's very important you do this really, really carefully. Okay. So here we go. Obviously, if you have practiced with some past papers, this is not a problem at all. Okay, here we go. So we end up over here, right? So while I am here, you can see is that I have some extra space here. So I'll even reduce this one. Okay. Right. Has your name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the report displayed on every page. So in the footer, if I want to display it in the footer, I'll simply display it using this label and I will place it over here. Here we go. Done. Okay, and I'll again take it up to reduce it. Print preview. Done. So we're done with this. Print and save your report. Using fields from both tables to create a tabular report. So we have to make tabular report and tabular reports. That's a tabular report. That's another tabular report. So here you see it's perfectly done, and we can just print. Oh, no, perfectly done. Sorry. We just need to make sure. Here we go. We don't. Oops, sorry. We don't get this. These hashtags means that somehow we have compressed it. So now it's fine. Okay, so I can't use the word perfect just before not checking it. So we have to make another report. Okay, let's do that. Point 23. So obviously what I'll do is I'll just close this one. Yes. Okay, I'll just close this one. So I'm going to create, give design, add, and I'm going to add over here is what? I'm going to add over here is select only the country. So again, we have to use the Yash name, builder name. So we're going to have is the Yash name, the builder name, type, length, price, type, length, price. Okay. Build country, price, build country. Build country in this order with data and labels fully visible, right? So country is supposed to be NU or AU. So, right, we're just going to make sure that the country is, so I don't have the country, so I'll add the country, but I'll not show it. The country code, and I'm going to make it NU or AU, but I'll not show it because I'll just untick this. The records will be accordingly, but we don't have to show it because they never asked us to show it. Okay, because they've just asked us to show is the following fields, the build country. Code is not there. Okay, the build name includes the text Yach, which means please read it carefully. Okay, so this is such a typical question, that we want is the build name includes Yach. So I'm sure all of you are answering me right now. This would be star Yach star consist of includes. We'll have this. If they say that should start with something, then it would be Yach star. If say it should be ending with, we can say is star Yach. And if they say should include, it will be star Yach star. Okay. So there should be no confusion regarding this. Is a typical question that comes in every paper. Okay. Page origin portrait. So we're done. Let me just take what we've done. We've done this point. We have done this point. Sort into ascending order of price. So we just simply have to make sure that as far as the price is concerned, it's ascending order. Okay, of price. Page origin portrait. This all has to be done basically where actually in your report. So we'll simply run this and we're going to create as a report and we're going to name it as this as the title. Okay, let's read again. So I'll do step by step. Has to be portrait, fits on single page. So this has to be portrait. I'll make sure paste it portrait. Okay, it has to be A4 size. So I'll arrange it in this way so that I don't get my records row height into two different lines. It should be remain in one, and I can increase this now. And I could decrease this a bit. So everything's perfectly done, right? What else? So I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Calculate the average length in this selection and position this number below the length column. So we want to find the average length. So all you do is while you are in the layout view, come into the length, right click, total, and calculate. Over here is the average. And down over here, you can see is I get the average. Make sure it's fully visible. Okay, I don't need this, so I'll remove it. I just need is, sorry, I did the other one. I don't need this. I just need the average length. Okay, next what we have is, okay, display the average length value in one decimal place. Okay, the length field calculates, includes this, has your name, center number, candidate number. So here we go. Just make sure that length is one decimal place. So the length that I have, I'll just go into properties and I'm going to make sure if it's not showing, I'll change this format into standard and it will show it 4.42, right? It's working, right? What else? Just need to add my details. So we'll simply come here and we are going to add our details over here, right? So here we go. We got this and you're going to print this out. So it's coming. Oh, extra, sorry. No, you're not going to print out. Just come to the design view. Just like display this here. And this extra that I have, I'm going to bring it from right to left. So that now if I preview this, I can preview this in this way. Does it say one page? 1 second. Let me read again. So it says fits on a single page. Single page, yes, it's important. Let me do it. So it has to be single page. So what we can do is this obviously can be reduced. Oh, sorry. Right. I can just bring this up. Or maybe this can be reduced as well. Okay, let's have a look. Print preview. Oh, see. No. I have to make sure that the name. So I'm just going to increase this and increase this. No worries, this will just take some time, but I can leave it this way. Okay, I'll check it again. Doesn't matter. Did I somehow disturb anything? So you see, it's exactly on one page. So you just have to make some adjustments. If this goes into the second line, this is where the problem is created. So you have to be careful about these things. Okay, obviously with practice, it's just not a big problem. Export this report, create this up into PDF file format, and we're done with this as well. Okay, so I will just export this into PDF. So come to PDF and here we go, just publish it. And somehow you just exported this into PDF and here you go. And you're done with this as well, right? So see you all while we do the presentation as well, okay?